Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, and my topic today is about becoming a freelance writer. I have a question from Yasmin Manushari, a translator based in San Pietro, California. Here's what she's asked. I want to begin freelancing. Where should I even start? And how can I increase my odds of landing a pitch? Thanks for the question, Yasmin. I have some good news and some bad news. The good? There have never been more opportunities for freelance writing than there are today. The explosion of the internet has created many more platforms, including newspapers, magazines, and blogs for aspiring writers. And the bad news? It's harder to make money than ever before. Many of the outlets don't pay or don't pay terribly well. And the growth of the internet has led to a corresponding decline in print publications, many of which used to pay very well. That said, if you don't want to make a living doing it and you want to pursue freelance writing as a side gig or a hobby, there are lots of opportunities. The secret to success is to be really well organized about it. Here are my 7 tips. Number 1, identify and develop your own subject area. If you try to be an expert on everything, you're essentially an expert on nothing. More important, if you have one particularly narrow subject area, you'll be reducing the amount of research you need to do. You'll also increase your own visibility to editors. So, for example, don't become an expert on sports. Instead, become an expert on women's soccer or lacrosse or non-pro tennis. You'll quickly discover that you have a lot to learn, and as you absorb this information, your own self-confidence will increase. 2, develop a thick skin. Understand that for every yes, you're likely going to have to listen to a dozen no's. Don't take this personally. It's just a numbers game. You'll succeed only a certain % of the time, and if you make more pitches, your absolute numbers of acceptances will increase. 3, try to get more than one pitch out of every idea. For example, if you're researching a story on a soccer player for a particular team, find another way to spin that story. One publication might be interested in the athlete's training program. Another might be interested in her personal life. 1 interview, 2 stories. Always work to get more than one story out of every idea. 4, never pitch ideas that a particular publication has already done. This mistake will reveal to the editor that you haven't read their publication deeply enough, which will indicate to them that you have poor research skills. Be sure to review at least 2 years worth of back issues and make it 4 to 6 years for any publication that's particularly important to you. Bottom line, don't suggest stories that have already been done. 5, make sure you understand the style of the publication that you have in your sites. Some pubs are deeply serious and require rigorous research. Others have a lighter touch and might even be looking for a little bit of humor. And all will have specific features, best of lists, profiles, or perhaps specific ways of responding to news events. If you can match your pitch to their style, you're much more likely to succeed. 6, be sure to follow the writer's guidelines. All publications will have writer's guidelines, which you can usually find on their website. These guidelines will include spelling, subject areas, and the specifics of how they like to be pitched. Most will prefer email, but some might want the pitch in the body of the email, while others will prefer it as an attachment. Do whatever they ask. Otherwise, I can guarantee you're not going to get an assignment from them. 7, be persistent. Succeeding at being a freelance writer takes a great deal of persistence. I've addressed this issue in a previous video, and I include the link below. I think the best news for you, Yasmin, is that you're not counting on getting 100% of your income from freelancing. This means it will become a pastime that will be rewarding for you, not just in terms of the writing, but also in terms of the additional cash flow you might be able to generate. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the American writer and marketing consultant, Rocco Baldescare. I didn't want an unsatisfying career, and I didn't want to commit to one place, either one company or one location. I wanted to make my own decisions. Thanks for the question, Yasmin. Dipping into a new career can be fun and exciting. if you have the right attitude. Try to view it as a game rather than a comment on your own self-worth as a writer or a human being.